welcome to Art on the Brain. Today we got something a little bit different. This is Teddy, our family parrot, enjoying some of the fresh pellets that I make in this video. Please take any ideas as some great inspiration to make your own pellets. I highly recommend it. It is so fun. I love nourishing my pets, and you know what? They will thank you for it, for their behavior, through their behavior and through their extended health. So here we go. There's my Charlie Charlotte there.
So most of these I cannot fit on screen, but I will count them and then I'll let you know how many ingredients that I've made. A lot of these I made 2 days prior, so it took me a while, but it is worth it because I've saved lots of money. I'm about to make my own beautiful parrot food that is so healthy and is going to be kept in my freezer for the whole entire year. It's not going to cost me $100 a month like it usually does. It's going to cost me $120 to $150 for the entire year, which for me is an absolute bargain. So I've got about 18 ingredients here. This one has 3 ingredients in it. This one over here that I've ground up has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ingredients in it. So we're not going to count that as one ingredient. We're just going to count as one ingredient for now because you might only get the separate ingredients by themselves. But this one here is spinach that I have dried myself and ground up. This one is rosemary and spinach. This one is dried chilies. Sorry, it's not lining up neatly now. This is oranges, about 20 oranges in here. This is about 20, but not the whole orange. It's orange skin, so orange peel. And this one's lemon peel, about 20 lemons from my trees. Some of these I brought from the grocery store, not many of them though. And this one is pumpkin. So this is about half a pumpkin, dried and then ground up, so all the seeds, all the skin, organically grown. My neighbor grew them, so no poisons or even unhealthy things. This is the alfalfa that we've just ground up. This is the rest of the alfalfa down here, so quite a bit of alfalfa. Buckwheat obviously down here, then cayenne, I never know how to say this, cayenne pepper, a whole bag of this. I think that's enough. And then we've got the rose hips, which I've got from my garden. Not many, but that's okay. Coconut flour, tricolor quinoa, puffed multigrain blend, which is brown. Where is it setting? Yeah. Buckwheat, brown rice, and sorghum. And then, as we saw before, this one, sunflower seeds, safflower. You can read that. Sorry, I cannot pronounce it. And then the nettle here. So the kelp, don't forget the kelp. Don't forget the purple dulce, the dandelion leaves. And yeah, let's mix it all together. So here I've got a clean bowl. And let's start with the first ingredient. I mean, I'm going to have to do half in this bowl and then do another batch after. So we'll just do half of the ingredients now. So I'm going to start off with half of the dandelion. There we go. That's about half. Whoa, the powder's going everywhere. Half of the pumpkin. I'm going to make 2 batches just so that we can make it easily. I don't have a giant tub. I probably will invest in one in the future. Then we'll put half of the alfalfa. Okay, whoops. Push it over to the side. Whoa, there's a hay room in my house. And now we're going to go for the buckwheat flour. Sorry, I just quickly chop this open. And here comes the organic buckwheat flour, half of that. Sorry, just backtracking. I just added the orange. I didn't add pumpkin. This is the pumpkin. So now we're adding half of the pumpkin. They look so similar. They don't smell similar, but they look similar. So that's how I knew that I made a big boo-boo. And now I'm going to add the lemon since we added the orange already. Vitamin C. Yum, yum, yum. Now I'm going to add the quinoa. Quinoa. Beautiful. That's about half. And the puff multigrain blend of, I think this has got buckwheat in it as well, but buckwheat, brown rice, and sorghum. And then we've got the cocktail blend, the delicious seeds. We'll put half of that in. Beautiful. We're going to put half of our spinach in. It's getting fuller. Half the spinach. There we go. Oh, that was a little bit over half, but that's okay. And we're going to put half of the rosemary and parsley in. There we go. Beautiful. Half of our nettle. Now the only thing left to add is some kelp and dulce and cayenne pepper and coconut flour. So let me open up these bags. So here's our coconut flour, half of that bag. Cayenne pepper, half of that bag. Here's the purple dulce, quite a bit. There we go. I'm going to try this. Tastes exactly like the ocean. And now I'm going to add kelp. Add half of that. Very nice. And that is nearly all of the ingredients. I'm going to add the rose hip. There we go. And almost forgot my homemade chili. Crushed. And that's half of that. And we'll be stirring. And because most of this chili, I'm going to use a spoon because usually I'd use my hands just to see the consistency. But wow, this is, whoa, the chili, you can really smell the chili at the moment because it's on the top. So we'll just keep mixing. Very, very strong. Now, I was thinking of using egg to bind this since it will be kept in the freezer anyways. And I know that egg's actually really good for parrots, but I didn't really want to use water to bind it because I don't think it would stick together very well. So when we'll be back, I will decide. But this is a lot to mix in, so I'm just make sure that it's mixed really thoroughly. Wow, it's seriously, it smells crazy. Crazy. Lots and lots of different smells. Now, the pellets that I was going for were definitely a lot more green than this, but I'm just hoping that that's just because mine isn't wet or cooked. And I'll say I haven't really finished mixing it. So next time I think I'll do a lot more. But I feel like this is a good mix of different things. Maybe I added a little bit more of alfalfa, a bit more quinoa than what usually would be added. Oops, sorry, I moved my tripod. Oh, you can see tiny brain down there. Just changed that. And it's a very earthy texture. It smells very different. I'm touching it now because it's not so much chili, but I'm going to smell it. It smells really weird. I hope my parrots love it. Let me taste it. It's very strong. Very strong. And I'm still mixing. I'm just going to speed this up and I just keep mixing, and I add about 8 eggs eventually, and about start off with 5 eggs because I just want to start off with a couple
and
then
water to this entire
go up
batch.
as we go.
Now I know I didn't provide any real measurements for any of the things that I made, but I just tried to keep it to, I don't know,
Now,
Sorry, guys. I've always cooked by
well in the middle.
feel, if that makes any sense. I've been cooking since I was very, 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 very young. I was allowed to experiment with cooking. So I don't follow recipes that well, so I'm not very good at baking measurements, but
how much
I think in this instance, I did put a lot more grains in and greens. So the greens really was a lot. I tried not to put too much
and vitamin D
of the stronger flavours in, but just enough to make sure that the amount would spread throughout the whole batch.
I think I'm going to add the same amount.
That makes any sense.
That's sticking
there is
very nicely.
Nothing online that I can find of a recipe like this that will give me actual measurements to, you know, what the parrots need for their dietary requirements. But I can't imagine it would be much different to a vegan's diet that needed to have the right amount of nutrients. Obviously, they're a parrot, but honestly, I'm not going to go into detail about my views on this. I know a lot of people are really passionate about it, but I'm fairly sure a parrot's body is very good at collecting the minerals. Like, if you've got it in their diet and you're feeding them the right diet, I'm fairly sure it's very good at collecting the minerals if it needs it, unless there's something really wrong with their health. So, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents worth. I'm very, very tired. Please comment down below what you think and how you feel about it. I mean, it can be controversial. Some people choose to only feed their birds seeds. Maybe their parrot's been only brought up on seeds. I don't know. But luckily, our parrots really enjoy fresh food and this kind of pellets. They accept whatever I give them pretty much, except for fresh carrot. For some reason, they don't really like fresh carrot. I don't understand. But, you know, Marlene McCowan has some really good recipes for fresh salads for your parrot. So go and check out her channel. And she's really funny too. I really like bird tricks, but I haven't bought their recipe book. So let me know if you think it's worth me purchasing, if I could find some dietary requirements in there. I'm sure I could, because they're very experienced. And yes, I keep mixing. It actually feels better than Play-Doh. I don't know how to say this, but it was really fun to mold. And yeah. So I've just had these in here, and for on 100 degrees, I've put them, flattened them out. And this is what they look like, and they're all dry. And we also made little balls as well. So tomorrow I'm going to do a second batch and try and make them smaller. But this is all I could do for tonight because I'm very tired and I've got a headache. So, but I'm sure the parrots will love them anyway. So what I have to do right now is I have to grind these all up and make dried carrots. Here we go. So I've put the carrot in the bowl. It's got some water in there as well. Just a tiny bit of water to help it mix up. And yeah, here we go. Okay, here we go. We're just pushing all this down and making it nice and even. My hands are nice and clean, but just ground up, and I'm going to do one more tray and that'll help it dry up really fast. So, what I forgot to add in my last batch is sesame seeds. So I've actually got a whole heap of sesame seeds that I'm going to add. I'm not going to crush them up. I'm going to leave them as a Scotty surprise. Who doesn't love sesame seeds? I mean, I love sesame seeds. So I'm going to add some to my leftovers from yesterday that I've kept in the fridge, nice at a cool temperature. Mix it in with that, and also mix it in with my new batch. Who doesn't love sesame? So here is Charlie Charlotte. She's about to taste test. I love her little mango coloured beak. She just chucks all her food on the floor. She always does it. That's her favourite way to eat. She never eats the whole thing. Teddy does. Teddy eats all his food. It doesn't matter if they're big pellets, small pellets, fresh food, dried food. It's getting spat out. She's so cute. And here is my other stuff from the other night. I got it out of the fridge and I'm just making it all flat on a baking sheet and a baking tray. Sprinkling sesame seeds on top and pressing them in just to make it really different for the parrots. Here's my dried carrot that I've blended up and make it really pretty. And I found this is way quicker than rolling them out like I did before into balls and like into logs as well. I don't have an extruder. I thought I had a mincer, but I didn't have the right part. But this pizza cutter works really easily and really well. So I'm not going to be using a butter knife anymore. I'm going to be using this pizza cutter. It makes my life easy. And Teddy, his turn to taste test. He's a bit camera shy. I think it's because his dad isn't home. I think it's because Papa Brain's not home. So he's just like, what is this, Mum? What is this? He's like, really? Oh, he's very nice. He's a very good boy. You gonna eat it? Oh, he's got some on his lower beak there, so he definitely did have some, but he doesn't want to do it for the camera, so that's just my luck. Is after 100 degrees Celsius for about 3.5 hours. See you next time. Like and subscribe if you want to.